Hello, and welcome back to Beyond the Plot podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined by the amazing American author Lily Parker to talk about the journey into getting her to her book publication, what it looked like to series her work. We talk about the challenges, the struggles, the amazing adventure that she's had along the way, the crazy busyness of being an author, and what's to come in 2026. So stay tuned, sit back, relax, listen to Lily Parker's amazing story. And while you're here, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, so I can keep bringing you these amazing author guests to the podcast. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Hey, Lily, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. And thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I love doing these. They're so fun.
Yeah, and I love talking to authors, especially when, they're not in the same location, because I think you have your own unique story as well. And, I've got a lot of UK followers here, so it's going to be nice for them to hear your story being based in the US.
Yeah, and my publisher's in London, so I'm one of those
Yeah.
straddles the pond authors. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's interesting. Well, I'm keen to kind of step into that and understand a little bit more. But before we go into your story, do you want to share a little bit about yourself?
yeah. So my name is Lily Parker. Last year I had my first three books come out. The Best Wrong Move was my debut, followed by The Best Worst Mistake, followed by The Best Wild Idea. And then this year, I'm working on another four-book series with my publisher that should start coming out this spring. So
Wow.
really excited for that. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind year for sure.
Yeah. And are they all full length novels, or are they yeah, wow. Okay, so you're going to be busy.
Very busy. Yes, the first three, they did a rapid release with those. So they all three came out in, I think it was under 5 months. So
Wow.
it
And
was,
had you
yeah,
already written those? So let's talk
yeah.
about that a little bit more then. So let's go back a bit, right, to understand where it all started. So
Yeah.
what did your journey look like? Because I actually read somewhere that you used to be a professional matchmaker. Is that correct?
Yeah, for just a short stint, but it was really I know, it was my dream job. I was always those, I mean, embarrassingly enough, like, huge fan of The Bachelorette
Yeah,
when I was
same.
younger and The Bachelor, like, starting way back in college. And then I've always just been drawn to those, like, matchmaker type of stories, and I thought but, like, "Is this a real job?" And I watched The Millionaire Matchmaker, and I was like, "There are
Yeah.
people out there that actually do this."
Yeah.
So, I got a job working as one and setting people up, and then COVID hit shortly after that. So, I did do it, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I
Yeah.
would 1,000% moonlight as a matchmaker on the side. It was so fun.
I can imagine. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like The Bachelor. I've definitely watched those previously. And I mean, I'm intrigued whether you're ever going to write a book around matchmaking, right? Because I know there's some novels out there that touch on that
Yeah.
subject, and there's definitely storylines around matchmaking.
Mhm.
Um, but
Yeah.
when did your writing journey start then? Was it prior? Like, was it when you were younger? Was it when you were in like a teenager? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely one of those teenagers that had notebook upon notebook filled with
Mhm.
it's embarrassing, but we would call them fantasies. Like, I would
Yeah.
write these romantic fantasies for my friends and their crushes. Um, and it was like my worst nightmare that this notebook was going to be discovered and like passed around the high school. But another one of my friends, who she's also an author now, we
Yeah.
would swap this notebook back and forth, and it would just be filled with like the most embarrassing love stories that we made up between us and our crushes. Um, but I actually wish I still had that notebook because I bet it would have some really good inspiration in there. But so, like, I think a lot of authors, get their start filling diaries, filling notebooks. And then I went to college and I've always been fascinated with psychology, human
Yeah.
behavior, human motivation. So, my degree is actually in psychology. And then I took a roundabout career path after that, got a job working in public relations.
Mhm.
And so it involved a lot of writing and a lot of ghostwriting for different
Okay.
executives or business owners and, writing websites, writing blogs, like, but all from somebody else's point of view.
Yeah.
And I loved that part of the job. Like, every time I got a writing assignment, I was like, "Yes." And I mean, I did that for 10 years in and out of marketing and public relations. I did work at a publisher as well for a little bit
Mhm.
doing their marketing. It was just a small publisher, but it was my first like real insight to the publishing world, and went to Book Expo America and talked to a bunch of the other big publisher assistants and whatnot that were there, and just really became kind of fascinated with the publishing industry from the inside, and started, it got my wheels turning of like, this is an attainable goal for a lot of people. Didn't know if I could ever do it though still. And then it wasn't until it was around COVID when I had a lot of extra time on my hands, and, I started writing a lot more, just hobby in my basement, like, in the
Yeah.
evenings. And then my friend who the same one that I used to write fantasies with as a
Okay.
kid, she's still one of my really good friends and also an author now. She invited me to join a writers group with her, and every month I had to bring a chapter to this writers group and get it critiqued by this group of women who I didn't know any of them when we started. And so that was my first insight into the critique process, the editing process, with somebody else actually saying, "This isn't working. Hey, this is working."
Yeah.
Um, Kind of fell in love with that process, and through that, I really dove in and kind of finished the book that I was bringing to that writers group, and that book ended up being the one that I published last year. So
Amazing. So what did it look like? Because I
yeah.
mean, going to writers groups, like having that community has been key, right? You hear a lot from authors around that's how they build their network. That's how they keep momentum and keep going. Like even if you have those knockbacks, and they're like their number one supporters, and as well as like you said, critiquing your work as well. So when did you decide that hey, this is actually what I want to do? I'm going to submit my work to a publisher.
Yeah, so actually 2 of the friends that I had in that writers group, they went on to write full-length novels as well. And one of them was self-publishing. So she invited me to go with her to the 20 books to 50K conference for self-publishers in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
So I went with both of them. We all 3 of us shared a hotel room at the MGM, and we were there the whole week, just meeting other authors. And it was one night at a mixer, like a romance author mixer, where I met my first editor, who she had flown over from London to the conference to meet authors. Um, but I hadn't really even considered querying my book out at that point.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to self-publish, and there was, like, no doubt in my mind. I mean, I was there to learn how to do it. Um, so it was hilarious because at the mixer, she was, like, asking me questions, and when I look back at it now, I'm like, she was interested in my book, obviously, 'cause she ended up publishing it. But I was, like, pitching everybody around me because lots of people were trying to talk to her, and I was like, "No, you should talk to this girl. Like, listen to her book story. It's amazing," and, like, pitching everybody else. And then, it was just one of those moments where I look back now and laugh because 'cause I'm like, yeah, my path was leading to publish with her, and I was trying to pitch everyone around me. But, it wasn't until the last day of the conference, we were both walking out of the hotel at the exact same time, like,
Hmm.
out the door in the lobby to our cars waiting out there, and, she gave me her card and was like, I want you to send me the book that you're working on right now." And I was like, "She's just being nice." Like, I was not. And I got into the Uber with my 2 friends, and they were like, "No, she really wants you to send it." And I was like, "No, no, no." Anyway, so I got home, I ran it through, like, 2 more beta reads really fast just to, like, polish it up, clean it up,
Mhm.
and ended up sending it off to her by the end of that month, and within 2 weeks, I think she was offering me a contract with them.
Wow.
So it was just a whirlwind kind of backwards way of going into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like serendipity as well. It's like if you hadn't gone to that conference and then if you
Yeah.
hadn't walked out at the same time to then, give you like for her to
Yes.
give you her card. And that's crazy. So you sent her for 2 weeks. She then came back, offered you, was it a one or two? Well, you released three last year, right? So they went straight to a three
Yeah.
book deal. Amazing.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it was wild because I had an idea for another book,
Yeah.
and I had pitched that idea as well when we were talking contracts, and she was like, "Well, let's just make it 3. Like, we'll take those 2, and then we'll, you know, come up with a third."
Oh my
So,
gosh. And so what did it
yeah.
like in terms of time span then? Because you like all three came out last year, which is like, I mean, pressure on you, right? To get three books.
Yeah. Especially her
Listen.
first 3, like, it was such a learning curve and such a
Yeah.
whirlwind, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
So how
Yeah,
long
so
did
the
it take?
timing for
Yeah.
that, so the conference that I went to was in November of 2023. It was, like, right around Thanksgiving, right the week before, I think. Um, I sent it to her by the end of December, the book, the first book.
Yeah.
Signed the contract, I think, or was offered the contract in January. And then I actually wrote the 3rd book in this series next.
Yeah.
So that was the second one I had pitched. I wrote that one, sent it off by I remember because it was July 1st. It was my birthday. So sent that one off July 1st, and then I think I finished the 3rd one by October of that year. So that was all in 2024. So
Wow.
met her in 2023, very end, wrote the next 2 in 2024, finished by October, and then they started to come out in April of 2025.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
a busy few years for you.
Yes, it was like, getting a master's degree in publishing and editing all at once. It
Yeah.
was like, do all of it, which, I mean, I kind of prefer that. I'm a really, really, I don't know, I'm a highly productive, like,
The
hyper
stress?
focused. Yeah. So I can sit at my desk and, like, tunnel vision
Yeah.
if I have a deadline or something for hours.
That's
So,
good then. It's
yeah,
a good skill
it
to
was a
have.
whirlwind, but yeah.
And what kind of response have you had then? Do you feel like, you had 3 come out last year, so I can just
Yeah.
imagine, you know all this kind of noise and people started following you and buying your books and getting your name out
Yeah.
there. What did it look like for you in terms of, promotion, like promoting your books and then, yeah, the presence that you've got now?
Yeah. So, I mean, to start from total scratch, frankly, the book community online, and I'm not just saying this, it is like the warmest, kindest community, I think, on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of really good ones, but as far as communities that I've experienced, like specifically online, it seems to be unmatched. The support that bookstagrammers give authors is
Okay.
incredible, and they really do make, like, an art out of their passion. Like, I was blown away by the pictures, the graphics, like, the promotions that these total strangers online, that a lot of them do end up becoming, like, your friends. They'll reach out to you. They I don't know, you start up these conversations and you learn about them, they learn about you. Um, but truly been blown away by, the Bookstagram, the Book Talk, all of it.
Mhm.
Those communities are, I mean, they really are amazing,
They
and
are.
they're built
Yeah.
wholly on passion, which,
Yeah.
is incredible to be part of that. So, it was a whirlwind, but I mean, talk about a soft place to land, really, when
Yeah.
you're talking about getting to know people in a completely new space.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
been
did you
amazing.
so you mentioned that your publisher is based in the UK. So, what did it look like in terms of your books being released? Did they do the US first and then the UK, or did they do it the other way around? What did it kind of look like?
No, it was all at once. So, yeah, they did promotion, they did outreach in the US and the UK. Um, I have a street team that I've built over the last year as well. They're also amazing, but they're all over the world. So Jaffe is my publisher. They're in London. They sent out like promotion boxes and PR boxes all over the place.
Wow.
So they were a really fantastic partner to have that was open to, honestly, global promotion when it came to
Wow.
having an author overseas while they're
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. And what about,
Yeah.
like, marketing yourself? Because I know that I mean, the US is huge, right, in terms of bookstores and promoting and going and doing kind of book tours. Did you do any of
Yeah.
that when your book started coming out?
Not at all.
No?
None. No, I didn't do any book tour. I didn't do any in person. I honestly, I didn't do any outreach at all for in
Yeah.
person events. Um, Not really. I don't know. I'm totally not against it. I think I was so busy. It felt
Yeah.
because during that 5-month time frame that I was releasing 3 books, I was also writing my 4th. So I was
Wow.
writing to hit my next deadline. I did online outreach. I live in a city, but as far as having a large network of bookstores around me to drive to, I really don't have that here.
Yeah.
So our pool is very small. I knew it would involve a lot of travel. I mean, the US
Mm.
is huge. My
Yeah.
state is huge. And I have a lot of kids. Like I
Yeah.
just I was like, I don't know if I can do all the things at once. So it's on my radar for in the future to dip
Yeah.
into that more, I think. But this past year was such a whirlwind that
Yeah. And I think
yeah.
we're lucky, right, that we've got technology nowadays where
Yeah.
you don't have to go and meet people in person, and especially it just goes to show that you've got a UK publisher, right? You're based in the US. You've probably got a following all over the world, and people can
Yeah.
still connect with you. And I think that's really nice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's lovely to meet people in person, but as you said, you can build those connections, those relationships with people through social media and other platforms that
Exactly.
you're still, yeah, you can still promote yourself that way and still promote your books that way. And it's kind of nice. I mean, do you ever get that feeling like, oh, someone in Europe is reading my book? And yeah, it's kind of
Oh my gosh,
crazy.
yeah. Yes. I mean, there would be people that, my 3rd book so the 1st book is a classic rom-com tropes. The 3rd book, it has a really sad, like, emotional aspect to it, and
Mhm.
I would get readers who would send me, like, pictures of their tissue pile
Oh,
them crying or, like, their face with their mascara down their face, and, they're over in, like, the UK or they're in
yeah,
Florida or they're in Australia, and
yeah.
it was totally blows my mind every time. I don't think that ever gets old. I don't know if it ever will,
No,
It's
no,
like
I don't think so.
yeah.
I think that's got a really special place. Like, and how amazing that your words can create an emotion for someone. Like, I think that's so powerful.
Yes, it that alone, it blows me away every time. I'm
Yeah.
like, "This is amazing." Yeah, I love
Ah,
it.
so exciting. And then you've just landed another 4-book deal.
Yeah,
If you weren't busy last
yeah.
year, you're gonna be even busier this year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It's a
what's the kind of
it's a good
schedule for that then? So same publisher?
yeah, same
Yeah.
publisher, yeah, this one is a 4-book series, the last one was a 3-book series. Yeah, the 1st book is written, and I have started on the next book, but I think these are gonna have to be a little bit more spaced out,
Mhm,
just because the promotion schedule last year was so intense, but
mhm,
also because I think the readership is growing, and so, like, I can kinda ease off the gas pedal just a little bit.
mm,
I wouldn't say fully, I mean, I'm definitely not there yet. I'm still absolutely, like, boots on the ground running as fast as I can to get, more books out there to connect with readers, but I do think, a little bit more time in between is gonna be just fine. So,
yeah.
there's gonna be I'm not quite sure of the publishing schedule this year.
Mhm.
Um, we're working on that, but my publisher, they've been incredible to work with. They're incredibly, like, I don't know, they're just great to work with. They've been wonderful, so I'm not too concerned about that, but I am working really hard to meet the deadlines.
Yeah, yeah. Have you 'cause, a lot of authors that I've spoken to, a lot of them have agents, right? I mean, I spoke to someone yesterday, the other day who doesn't have an agent. She just goes straight to the
Mhm.
publishers. And she was saying that, she probably should get an agent because she doesn't know how to navigate all these deals, but she's just gone straight to a publisher. I mean, you've obviously gone straight to a publisher yourself. Have you ever thought about getting an agent, or is that something that you're going to look for later down the track, or is it something that you're not even, open to right now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely on my to-do list for 2026.
Yeah.
I think yeah, like I said, I was at a self-publishing conference, and that was my plan. And then after that, I was like, "Well, I have the deal." And they work with an agent through the publisher. So, for example, an Audible deal that I got was through the agent that represents me through the publisher.
Yeah.
Um so I haven't missed out on any of those, types of offers or deals or anything, but I do definitely think that it would be a good thing to have moving forward for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it depends what you want one for, right? I mean, I know authors
Mhm,
who are successful without one, but I think there's
mhm.
definitely a place for them, right? In terms of what
Yeah,
you want to achieve for yourself as an author in years to come, and how to navigate some of those deals. And if you do decide to, I don't know, I've spoken to a lot of authors recently who write under different pen names. So again, that you know. Different publishers come into that as well. You might want to go for a different one if you do decide to write in a maybe a subgenre, et cetera.
yeah, I totally agree. I think this industry is so unique in that there are so many ways to climb the mountain. I always
Yes.
think of it like that. It's like there is really no manual. There's no true right way to do
Yeah.
it. I mean, I talk to authors who to look at them, you'd think they've got the exact dream that everybody would be looking to
Mhm.
to do, the blueprint, right? That
Yeah.
everybody's like, "I'm gonna follow this exact blueprint," and they're not happy with what they're doing. And then I have authors that are, like, doing like, forging their own path, essentially.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing this self-publishing route, or they're working with a smaller publisher who's just working their tail off for them,
Mhm.
and they're so happy with where they're at. So, um, getting an agent, not an agent, working with publisher, not working with publisher, the authors that I talk to and the authors that I know, I don't think there's any one clear
No.
path anymore, and I think
No, I don't
that's a
think so.
really I think it's amazing for authors.
Yeah.
I think it's, intimidating, but it's also I don't know, I think it's something to celebrate in this industry for sure because
Yeah.
so many voices have options now. So
Yeah, and I think that's great because also, you mentioned earlier on that originally you were gonna go down the self-publishing route, and I think,
yeah.
like, nowadays, there's so many more options for people to do that. It's more accessible, and a lot of people do
Mhm,
it because they want more control,
mhm,
and obviously they get more rewards, but in the other instance, there's still a place for traditional publishing, and I think ultimately a lot of people do desire to have, their books with a traditional publisher because I think it can offer a little bit more in terms of global presence and being
mhm.
in more bookstores, etc. You might not get as many royalties, but you do get your
Right.
name out a little bit more. But I think it's so great that we've got a platform for those individuals
Oh, yeah.
where you have the choice now. And yeah, and I like what you said there about, you know, it's down to the individual at the end of the day. No one has to have the same path. Like, your friend, for instance, could do something completely different, a different journey to you. But I think as long as you've got the passion, the determination, the drive, and it's something that you really enjoy and love, then, that works well for you.
Yeah, and I think I mean, both whatever path you choose, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't yeah, it's like there's no easy route. I mean, they're
Mm.
all incredibly, like, work heavy, and it is such a passion-based industry that I think anybody that gets into it has that drive in them to begin with. I mean, if you're gonna spend your spare time writing a book, you know, you gotta love it.
You gotta
So
love it. Yeah, you do. I mean, and you've got kids as well, right? Same as me. I think when you've got children, I mean, for any of you've got loved ones you've got to look after, or you've got animals. If it's not just you, and you have added kind of pressure and stress, you've really got to love what you do to make time for it.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, if you think back across your journey, I mean, what's been the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome?
Oh, that's a great question. I think maybe one of the biggest challenges was coming out with spicy romance novels
Yeah.
and, like, you know, that in itself is like a special hill to climb a little
Mhm.
bit, because it's just different than if you were to write nonfiction or thrillers or something. So that was a special challenge, I think, for me to
Mhm.
come out with racier types of books and
Yes.
that in itself is a journey. Um, so challenge, I don't know. I mean, that was definitely like a personal challenge, to introduce that, but it's truly just been such a whirlwind that probably the other biggest challenge would have just been time
Yeah.
management and, you know, putting things down at the end of the day and being able to walk away until,
Yeah.
after the weekend or something. That's probably my biggest challenge. I tend to be a workhorse, like,
Okay.
anytime that I
Yeah.
can get, yeah.
Do
So
you have set days, like, that you write, and then do you give yourself set time to kind of dedicate to that, and then also have, like, make sure you have time for family and personal things?
yeah, so I now right now, all my kids are in school. That's the first time that's happened in a very long time, and 2 of them were out of school during COVID for remote school. So it was, yeah, huge challenge, but right now, with all the kids in school, I have tons of time to write for the
Yeah,
first time
that's
without
nice.
interruptions, yeah,
Mhm.
so and also when I very first started, I was also doing contract writing on the side,
Yeah,
contract editing on the side. I'm not doing that anymore currently, so that opened up a lot more time. So right now, 5 days a week. Um, Over the summer, it was, 5 o'clock in the morning until
um,
8 o'clock in the morning, and then, maybe one full weekend. But I think writing sprints are probably one of my biggest tools as just a busy mom, busy author,
yeah,
where if I get an hour for some reason, setting that timer
yeah,
for 1 hour, like, laser focuses me. If I don't do that, and I'll
yeah,
just start doom scrolling or, I'll be like,
yeah.
"Oh, what's in my email?" and, get off track. So, yeah, having those blocks of times is totally essential for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that you can zone out and be like, "Right, I've got this time," 'cause, yeah, like you said, otherwise you can procrastinate and then you get no work done. And there's no book.
Right, yeah, there's so many distractions. I also, I'm somebody that has to get out of my house to write,
Okay,
because
yeah.
if I or go to, like, a room of the house that is, like, pristine and nobody's home, because if I see something that needs to be done, I'll, like, want to go do it. So,
Yeah.
um, I have a desk at my husband has an office, and I have a desk at his office, and I have, um so that gets me out of the house,
Oh, that's
which
good.
is very
Yeah. I
fun.
like that though, because then it makes it feel like, "Okay, I'm going to work now." So you can take your kind of hat off that you do from home, and then you can be like, "Okay, I can separate that." Because 'Cause I'm like you. I mean, I work from home, but I have my own office, but I do think in my back of my head constantly that I'm like, "Oh, okay, I need to go and do this," or, "I need to go and do that." While I think it's nice if you can separate your work and
Yeah.
personal a little bit, then it's,
Yeah. The creative
achievable.
process, like, for me at least, really needs that
Yeah.
separation. Like, I have to
Yeah.
take the hat off, really put the other hat on, surround myself in bookish things and not
Yeah.
dishes and laundry, and
Yeah. And I
so
mean, you mentioned there, like, one of your personal challenges is, writing spicy romance, and
Mhm.
have your family read your books? Like,
Yeah.
do they comment on it?
Yeah, so it's funny because, I mean, when I very first started, I was like, "I'm gonna be an expert at keeping this, like, on the down low."
Mhm.
That is not the case. In fact, I saw, the author of E.L. James,
Yes.
50 Shades of Grey. I saw her speak, and this was before I ever published a book, and I saw her speak about being, a spicy romance author, and somebody
Mhm.
from the audience had asked, um essentially, like, how did you feel about that? How did you feel when your identity came out that this was you? And the books blew up,
Mhm.
and she said along the lines of, I'm not gonna quote it or anything, but she essentially was like, "Even if you think that you can keep something secret or private or keep your name out of it, it's not gonna happen. Like,
Mhm.
you will have people realize it's you." And I remember being in the audience and being like, "Nah, I got this." Well, of course, she's completely right, because of course she is, like, especially in this day and age,
Mhm.
and I think in the back of my head, I knew she was right, like,
Yeah.
obviously, but, so yeah, it was I mean, my husband had read everything, my friends had read everything, and then it was my family that eventually read everything, like my extended family, my mom,
Yeah.
aunts, cousins, like, um and what was so fun about that experience was hearing what types of stuff they like to read, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, I love these types of books, like, I love spicy romance, I love romance books, I that's all I read." And so it just was like there was nothing to be, like, worried about, you
Yeah.
know? Everybody
Mhm.
reads romance books. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of women read
Yeah.
romance books.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, yeah, so
I
if
don't know many
anything
women who don't like reading a romance book, to be honest.
right,
Yeah.
right, who doesn't love love, right?
Yeah.
So if anything, it ended up being kind of a funny, like, bonding experience of,
Yeah.
like, we're all the same. We all, like and why not?
Yeah.
These types of books make people happy.
Mhm.
Um, so that was my journey with it.
I love it. Will your I mean, you obviously started to write your 4th book. Would they be similar? I mean, rom-com, but will they have that spicy element still, do you reckon, for your next 4?
Yeah, yeah, they will, and, I think that the next one honestly, I don't know how much I can talk about it, with it still being in edits right now, but my 3rd book, The Best Wild Idea, is kind of my sweet spot, I think.
Mhm.
Their romance, they're happily ever after. They do have a spicy element, but that's not the main focus of them. They're they have a lot of heart and a lot of backstory and a lot of depth to the characters.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds of the full human experience in a
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm.
Not closing the door on something, but also seeing the emotional side of things that led you there. Um, so, yeah, got a little
Oh,
bit of both.
exciting what's to come. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, do you have you got a bit of a plan of where you wanna be, like, in 5 years' time? Is it you wanna continue keep releasing books, or do you wanna have an adaptation of one of your books as we keep seeing all
Uh,
around us now, right? There's so many movies
um,
coming out. It's been like, one of the books
no.
been adapted into a movie or a TV series, but what's kinda your have you got a bit of a plan?
Ah, wouldn't that be the dream,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, absolutely open to that. I mean, yeah, just keep writing good books. Keep connecting with readers, keep
Mhm.
finding stories. If one became a TV show or a movie, like absolutely, I would
Yeah.
never say no to that. But I keep like a running list of book ideas in my phone.
Mhm.
Every time one like strikes, I just jot it down in my
Yeah.
notes app. And it's just a matter of getting time to put them all on paper.
I know.
So yeah, just I love this genre and I love the readers,
Mhm.
so just getting to be a part of that over the next 5 years, just that would be the dream.
Yeah, yeah. Would you like to
Yeah.
travel a little bit with it? Like, do you come out have you been to the UK and met your publisher, or is it just, yeah, been in the
Yeah, it
US?
has.
Wow.
Mhm, yeah, I went over 2024
Yeah?
and met everybody. They had, like, a big garden party and,
Oh, lovely.
so yeah, and that was where so my first editor left, she went to HarperCollins, and then I got my second editor, so I met her in
Mhm.
London at the garden party. So I got to, talk to her face to face, which is
Yeah,
always really nice. And then I went back this last May as
yeah.
well and did a like day at the office and we went to lunch and
Oh,
that was
lovely.
really fun. Yeah. And then this February, beginning of March, I'm going on a romance author and reader cruise.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be like myself and I think 30 authors in
Wow.
total. I want to something around there. And then like 200 or something, 200 plus readers. They're all going on a Virgin cruise together. And
Amazing.
so that'll be my, kickoff February, March travel
It's
with
gonna be fun.
just a
Yeah.
lot of face to face time with readers and other authors. So that
And then
should
or
be,
are they, is everyone from, like, around the world, or is it US focused?
that's a great question. I want to say I mean, I think everybody's welcome from around the world. There might be
Yeah.
some from other places, but I think primarily,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, who I've talked to, everybody seems to be from the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun, though. I've never heard of
Yeah.
that before, so
I know. I know. I was really excited. And then it's so funny in this industry, like groups of us have like chats in the background going on of like, what's your outfit for this theme
yeah.
night and all of this. So it's been fun getting to like chat with all the other authors and then chat with some
Yeah.
of the readers. And just a fun thing to have on the calendar to look forward to.
Yeah. And I just think, like, go with the ride. Like, it's such
Yeah.
an exciting time, and I just think yeah, lap any opportunity up and just embrace it, because I feel like especially you got another 4 coming out, I feel like it's just gonna get even more crazy, and you're gonna get a bigger following, you're probably gonna get invited to a lot more things, and so, yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty amazing adventure for you.
I hope so. I hope it continues to
Yeah.
expand and grow. That's definitely the goal. But yeah, it still feels a little surreal. Like any opportunity or anything that
Yeah.
comes my way, I'm like, wow, how's this real life? I love this. This is
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Would
really fun.
would you I mean, if you had to give your younger self any advice, what would you give your younger self?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I am my younger self in my writing still. Like,
Uh,
it's just like in 5 years from now, I'll look back at this part of my journey and that will be my young author self. Um, I would say just believe that you can do it,
Mhm.
probably. Like, um, gosh, it was probably a decade ago at this point. This again, I've mentioned her a couple times. She's actually a very big thriller author now, but we've been best friends since junior high, and she and I were sitting on a beach in San Diego together, and this was before she published anything, before I published anything, and she's like, "If you could be anything in 10 years, what would you be?" And I was like, "I think I would be an author," and it was like the first time I said it out loud.
Mhm.
Um, she said the same thing that she wanted to be an author too, and it was like, admitting this, like, dirty secret almost, like, how dare
Yeah.
we even think we could do that? Um, and now fast forward to now, and
Yeah.
she went after it, and she encouraged me to go after it,
Mhm.
but it took getting past that imposter syndrome and
Yeah.
self-doubt and all of that, so I would say to my younger self, like, just do it. Just
Yeah.
do it. Just try,
Mhm.
because you never know until you try, and if that's your dream and that's what you want, then you gotta put, words on paper. So,
Yes.
hop
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice as well that you've got a friend that has gone through, like, this a similar journey to you, and now you're both authors, like, that's quite unique.
Yes. It is unique, yeah,
Yeah.
and I have 2 friends right now that one of them I've known for over 10 years, the
Mhm.
other I've known since junior high, and all 3 of us are published authors now and
Wow.
doing it full time, working our tails off, and we all live in the same city, and,
Yeah.
so, yeah, having that type of support
Yeah.
and that type of, like, community
Mhm.
around you is so vital
Yeah.
because, like I was saying earlier, there is no manual for this. So having other
Yeah.
people to bounce things off of is absolutely probably one of the best, weapons you can have in your toolbox or tools you can have in
Yeah.
your toolbox.
Yeah, I think that's great, and that's really special, right? That you've got some close friends who you've known for many, many years, like prior to you even becoming published, who, yeah, who are at the same, in the same journey as you, that you can, yeah, talk about the ups and downs and encourage
Mhm.
each other, inspire each other. Do you have, do you still, like, are you part of any associations, or do you kind of like, how do you upskill yourself still? Like, how do you keep working on kind of honing those skills and, making sure that you're, yeah, consistently learning?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, I would like to do more, to be honest. The Authors Guild is one. They just have a lot of resources for authors. It's a great resource for anybody who um, is looking for that first step into
Yeah.
getting some resources under their belt. I've watched online conferences, like I've watched some master classes. I think that one of the biggest, I mean, writing obviously consistently, doing all of the craft type of things that you can do, talking to other people in
Mhm.
the same community as you, especially in the same genre. So the friends that I have here, they're both thriller authors. So finding that romance community was a really um, valuable thing for me as well. But honestly, one of the biggest things that I always remind myself, and the the master class that told me this was David Sedaris. He did he did a master class, and one of the things in his master class, was like, "If you want to keep writing well, you need to get out, and you need to talk to people, and you need to
Mm,
never, like, stop turning those experiences off,"
yeah.
because so much what he writes about, I mean, obviously, it's about, like, these funny stories that
Mhm.
he has or people he comes into contact with, and hearing that, I was like, "That is so true." So,
Yeah.
yeah, in addition to all of the master classes and the reading the books and there's so many great books out there for authors that, I've read, Anne Lamott and
Mhm.
Saves the Cat and, all of those
Yeah.
typical ones, but it's also the real life practical world one of never stop talking to people, never
Yeah.
stop observing people. Um, like I write little things down that I see people doing
Yes,
when
yeah.
I'm out in the world, or like just make mental notes of little quirks that people have. And I think that if you're writing, taking note of like people in the real world around you is one of the best things that you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, is that where your inspiration comes from?
Um, yeah. I mean, I think it comes from so many places. It's hard to
Mhm.
just put exactly where it comes from, but um yeah, definitely human behavior. So
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
So fascinating that any little mental notes that I can make about like how a relationship works when it's not a relationship that I'm in, but maybe
Mhm.
that's somebody else. How I don't know. I'm just one of those people that is always like, what's the motivation behind what they're doing? Um,
Yes.
and so I'm constantly making mental notes about that
Yeah.
when I'm watching things. And yeah.
Well, you've got to get some more, like, I mean, you're on your fourth one, and then you've got another three to do. So I'm sure you'll get out and about and listening to those conversations and watching people and what they're doing. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, anyone who has that natural curiosity and finds inspiration from around them, like, you can just come up with any story, and I think that's, yeah, put it down on
Yeah. The hard part is putting it on paper. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Trying to
That's
work
the
out your
tricky
plot,
part.
right? Of like, this is a great story, but what's my plot and what's the what's gonna be the end?
And will the characters behave in the way that I want them to?
Yeah. Yeah, 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 it's very true. Um, so where can people find you, Lily? I know you've got a strong presence on Instagram, and I love following you and
Mhm.
watching your stories.
Oh, thank you.
Where else can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm mostly on Instagram, to be honest. I'm also on TikTok. Um, I'm on Threads. That's
Yeah,
another one that's fun to dip in there. Um, Joffy has their website, but
yeah,
the books that I mean, all the books are on Amazon.
yeah.
They can be bought on Barnes& and Noble website as well, and then there's some bookstores sprinkled around the East Coast that carry them as well. Um, but yeah, it's the Off Limits series. It has, I mentioned them all at the beginning, The Best Wrong Move, The Best Worst Mistake, and The Best Wild Idea. Um, that full series is out. It's out on Audible. Teddy Hamilton narrates the third one. He's, I know, a big
Yeah,
um
I like him.
narrator that a lot of people are big fans of, but, I can say that the narrators for every single book absolutely nailed the characters, so check him out on Audible, check him out on Kindle Unlimited, I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And what last question, what advice would you give those aspiring or emerging authors out there that, are thinking about querying or self-publishing? What advice would you give them?
I would say that um, I would look at what it is that you want in the long term, and I would first maybe sit back and decide what your personality would work best with. If you
Mhm.
are open to self-publishing, just learn as much as humanly possible and talk to people. I think one of the probably gatekeeping misconceptions of the industry is that authors are like behind this wall and they're not going to talk
Yeah.
to you. And I'm sure that that is the case for some.
Mhm.
But if you reach out to some and they don't get back to you and you do want to talk to people that are in the industry, just keep trying and keep reaching out to people. There's a lot of PAs out there. Like,
Mhm.
just because you write to a big author does not mean that they saw your message and ignored
Yeah.
you. Chances are they probably didn't even see it. So
Yeah.
don't take it personally. But reach out and talk to people. People absolutely will talk to you, and talk to people that are doing the self publishing thing and doing the traditional published thing. Talk to people at small publishers, just gather all the information that you possibly can,
Mhm.
because even though there are a lot of ways to climb the mountain, each way is going to be so much work that I think knowing what you are having in front of you, no
Yeah.
matter which path you take, and what you're going to have at the end with each path that you take is so valuable to have
Yeah.
from the very beginning. So I would just say, A, obviously write the book, find your writing community, find people that are going to be brutally honest with you.
Mhm.
If they're not, find another beta reader,
Yeah.
because everybody needs edits. And if your beta reader on your very first draft is like, it's perfect, they're probably not the best beta reader for
Yes.
you. Find the one that's gonna like tell you what it needs, and gather information every way that you can.
Yeah. I
And
love that.
then and then go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I've absolutely loved hearing your story. I think,
Thank
yeah,
you.
just from when you first started, the experience that you've had professionally, and then just that chance meeting of your editor, and then serendipity of coming out of the exit together. So it was. I always think it's meant to be. Your hard work, determination paid off. So can't wait for your other
Thank
books to be released. I'm going to follow you still on Instagram and follow your success. But I really
you.
appreciate you joining and yeah, hearing your story today.
Thank you. This has been so fun.
Oh,
See, I love
good.
this. This is
Yeah.
great. This has been fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we've shared where people can find you. So, like we said, best place is going to be probably Instagram or TikTok, and then they can get your books on your publisher's website or on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. So, plenty of places to go
Yeah,
and purchase that series, and then keep an eye out for what's to come in 2026.
fantastic. Yep.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
you're
This has been
welcome,
fantastic.
Lily. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.